Hi everyone and welcome back to our online yoga class. I'm Rachel from Yoga Mara and today I will be leading you through a 45-minute full body flow. So this class is particularly beneficial if you practice a lot of sports or even if you're just sitting at a desk all day. It's a nice deep stretch to all those muscles and joints within the body and just helping you feel a lot more aligned, more in balance and more open and flexible. So to begin, we're going to start with some mindfulness, beginning on our knees. Feet are untucked, and if this is uncomfortable, if you have any discomfort in the knees, you can place a cushion or rolled up towel underneath the knees or even underneath the sits bones. If that's just not accessible to you, you can come to a cross-legged position. Just finding that nice comfortable pose for you that you can stay in for a few moments and find some relaxation. So when you're ready, come into the middle of your mat, coming onto the knees. Bring both knees together and sending the hips back towards the heels. Feet are untucked and we're going to spread those toes nice and wide. So feeling that lovely stretch on the ankles, feeling nice length there. I'm going to use some essential oils here. I love to use it before my practice. My favourite is definitely peppermint at the moment. It's just lovely to kind of bring that focus and awareness to my practice and also creates that lovely sense of rejuvenation within the body and sense of cooling and calming. So if you do have an essential oil at home, you can add it to your session today. Just popping 1 or 2 drops in the palms, rubbing them together. And when you're ready, placing hands in front of the face. Take a deep inhale here as you draw in the air all the way down to the base of the belly. Exhale, side out. Inhale. Exhale, side out. Letting go of what no longer serves you. Inhale. Exhale, release the hands. Palms face up towards the sky. Relax them on your lap. And just allowing yourself to settle into this pose right now. Finding stillness before we begin our practice. And just allow yourself to really arrive at the mat right now. Asking yourself what has brought you here today. And without changing the breath here, just begin to observe the inhale and exhale. Letting go of all thoughts as you become aware of the inflow and outflow of the breath. With each inhalation and exhalation, allow yourself to become more relaxed, more comfortable, more at peace. Allowing the collarbone to broaden here as you draw the shoulders down and away from the ears. The eyelids aren't closed already, I invite you to do so. Otherwise, just drawing the gaze downward. Feeling this lovely sense of grounding now and stillness within. This allows us the opportunity to check in with ourselves and connect with ourselves on a deeper level. To observe what's really going on inside. And just taking this time now to invite an intention into your practice today. Whatever may be important for you in this moment, whatever goal or intention you wish to work towards for yourself. And I want you to envision this as if it were already so. Seeing yourself already there. And beginning your mantra with I am. Finishing off that statement with whatever word resonates with you. I am patient. I am love. I am grounded. Whatever may resonate with you right now, just saying this mentally to yourself and carrying that mantra with you throughout your practice today. Connecting the mind and body throughout our class. Creating that loving union, which is what yoga is all about. In your own time, slowly begin to open the eyes, soft gaze here, relaxing the hands either side of the body. Inhale as you draw the arms up overhead, bringing palms together, gazes at the palms, dropping the head all the way back, bringing those palms to the third eye, and drawing a line all the way down the forehead, the nose, the lips, eventually bringing hands to heart center, crown of the head to the sky, elbows out. Good job. On your next inhale, we're going to start to extend those arms back. So draw those elbows back, finding cactus arms here as we open up the front body and chest. Option to bring the gaze forward or all the way up to the sky. On the exhale, we're going to round the spine, drawing navel in, bringing palms together to touch. So almost like your cat-cow pose here. Inhale as you draw the elbows back. Finding those lovely cactus arms, having a bend at the elbow. Exhale to round the spine. Coming in the opposite direction. Let's go for one more. Inhale. And just allowing your breath to guide the movements coming into this at your own pace. Inhale as you slowly start to bring the crown of the head up to the sky, stacking the vertebrae one at a time. And relax the hands down. Good job. From here, walking the hands out in front. We're just going to send those knees to either edges of the mat, bringing big toes to touch. Walking the hands out in front, finding nice length through the fingertips. On an exhale, we're going to drop the chest and the forehead down onto the mat. So from here, finding your extended child's pose, walking those fingertips up slightly, feeling that lovely length through the upper arms, the shoulders, and feeling heavy in the hips as you start to draw them towards the heels. Maybe shaking the head out no as you massage the forehead out in your child's pose. And just remembering that this is a rest and relaxation pose, so if you need to take this at any stage throughout the class today, please do so. Tuning in and listening to your body now. Taking one more deep cycle of breath. Exhale, side out. Letting go of any stresses or tensions you may be holding on to. Well done. Inhale as you lift the gaze up. Start to draw those hands back underneath the shoulders, drawing knees in line with the hips, finding a tabletop position here. So just before we begin, I just wanted to let you know that I will be using a strap and a block during this class. You don't have to have one, but it just may make the poses more accessible, more comfortable for you. If you don't have a block at home, you can use a hardback book. And if you don't have a strap at home, you can just use a belt or the rope of a dressing gown. So if you want to go and grab a hold of those, please do so. And we will all meet in a tabletop position here. So just bring hands in line with shoulders, knees in line with hips, fingers are nice and spread apart. So pressing away from the earth here and really pressing into those top 10 finger points. So allowing yourself to see the white of the fingertips. Tucking toes under, coming onto the tops of the feet there as you draw the navel in. Start to hover those knees over the mat. Really engaging the core and exhale to lower them back down. Let's go for two more. Inhale as you draw those knees up. Really knit those ribs together. Press away from the earth. Really broadening through the shoulder blades. Exhale to lower. And let's go for one last one. Well done. Inhale, draw the navel in. Lift those knees up. Hover here. And as you exhale, slowly start to lower down. Untucking the toes here. And when you're ready, coming back to the heels with the hips. Just take a break from the wrists. Maybe rolling them out here. Moving them in circular directions. And when you're ready, coming back to find that tabletop position once more. I'm just going to place my props to one side. So from tabletop, we're going to move into our puppy pose. So starting to walk those hands out in front. I want you to keep the hips in line with the knees. So just allowing the arms to extend, pressing down on the forearms here, and just finding a nice little stretch in the spine and the upper arms and shoulders. If you're not feeling anything here, you can start to extend those arms out even further as you walk them up towards the top of your mat. On an exhale, start to melt the heart and the forehead down into the earth, feeling that more exaggerated stretch on the upper back, the shoulders, the upper arms. Beautiful one to relieve any tension in that area, a place where we store a lot of stress and tightness. So just allowing yourself to breathe nice and deeply into this one. Holding it here for a couple of breaths, creating those nice long even breaths. So making your breath nice and smooth here. And to exhale, see if you can melt that heart deeper into the floor, creating that lovely curve in the spine. On your next inhale, slowly lifting the gaze and start to walk those hands back. So finding the nice pressure there as you draw the hands underneath the shoulders, press it away from the ground, finding tabletop once more. Let's tuck the toes under. Take an inhale as you hover the knees over the mat once more, engaging the core here. On your next inhale, let's send those hips up high to the sky. As you exhale, draw the heels back. Finding your first downward facing dog of the class. So pedaling the feet out here, bend and extend opposite legs. And if this is your first downward facing dog, if it's your first yoga class, you can pause for a moment and just look at my alignment here and just checking here to see how this should look. So you're creating like an upside down V shape in the body. Head hangs heavy in between the two arms. Your gaze is at the gap in between your 2 feet. Fingers are nice and spread apart here. And just pedaling the feet out one at a time, stretching out the backs of the legs. And when you're ready, slowly coming to a still down dog. Option to bring a soft bend in the knee. If you find the spine is rounding and your legs are extended, start to bend the knee as you start to lengthen the back body here. So drawing the chest in towards the thighs. So finding your own variation in down dog. Inhale as you wave the body forward, coming high up onto the tippy toes. Sending shoulders over wrists, and as you draw the energy back into the heels, finding your plank pose, Palakasana. Really knit those ribs together, slanted board shape from the crown of the head to the heels. From here, we're going to start to tip forward an inch, bringing shoulders above wrists. Exhale as you send the energy back into the heels, find breath. Inhale, tip forward. Exhale, send the energy back, find plank. Let's go for 3 more. Exhale. Inhale. Really warming up that core, feeling that heat build up within. Inhale. Exhale, draw it back. Dropping the knees down onto the mat. Hug the elbows in, sending the chest and chin, and eventually the whole body comes down onto the floor, flatten through the tops of the feet. Bring those hands underneath shoulders, tuck the elbows in. Inhale as you peel the chest up. Find your cobra pose. So option to come down a little lower if you need to, if the lower back is quite stiff, or if you find a higher cobra, then please do. Exhale to lower, tucking the toes under, press away from the earth, sending the hips up high as you plug the heels, finding your downward facing dog once more. Good job. Breathing nice and deeply here. Inhale, lifting that tailbone high to the sky as you exhale, drawing the heels back to the earth. Well done. On your next inhale, moving the gaze in between your 2 hands, we're going to step that right foot in between our 2 hands, pivoting on that back foot. So sending that left foot parallel to the back of the mat. We're going to take a hold of our block or book if you have a hardback book, and we're going to place it inside that right foot. Either middle setting or high setting if you have quite tight hamstrings and hips. You can place it like so, otherwise we're here. And of course the option to do it out if you have more flexibility. So I'm going to use my block to demonstrate. Taking that right hand on the block, and as you inhale, we're going to draw that left arm up towards the sky as you open up the body to the left. So pressing into the blade of that left foot. And really reaching up with that left hand through the left fingertips as you send the energy down through the right. Lunging deeply into that right knee, and using that right arm to work that knee back, towards the right hand side. Feeling a lovely inner thigh stretch and in the hips, as well as the shoulders and front body as you rotate the chest up towards the sky. Nice, long, even breaths here. Good job. Exhale, release that hand. Bringing your left hand down, placing your block to one side, and placing your right hand outside right foot. Turn on left toes, and step right foot back. Find plank pose. On an exhale, just popping back and finding downward facing dog. Paddling it out if you wish. Breathing nice and deeply here. Good job. On your next inhale, coming up onto the tippy toes, let's step left foot in between your two hands. Turning on the right foot, so pivoting that right back foot. I'm just going to turn to the other side so you guys can see me properly. Taking your block or hard back hook here and placing it inside that left foot. Inhale as you draw right arm up. Reaching up through those right fingertips. At the same time, sending the energy down to the left, using that left arm to work that knee out to the left hand side. Feeling that nice stretch in the inner thigh. Breathing here. Lovely deep stretch as you reach up and back, rotating that heart up towards the sky. Option to bring the gaze to the side if there's any strain on the neck there, otherwise taking it skyward. Well done. Exhale as you draw that right hand down, release the block, frame that left foot, turn on right toes, step left foot back, and exhale, find down dog. Breathing here. Good job. From here, we're going to send those feet out nice and wide. So we're going to walk them out to either edges of the mat. I'm just going to shorten the stance slightly. It's just coming up slightly with those feet. A little closer towards the hands. So finding like a wide-legged downward dog. Moving into a twisted down dog here. On an exhale, we're going to start to reach that left hand to the outside of right ankle. And start to twist and rotate our chest and torso over towards the right arm. Exhale, release. Inhale here. Exhale, drawing right hand to the outside of left ankle and twist. Moving the torso towards the left this time. Putting the gaze under that left armpit. Exhale, release. From here, just heel toe the feet in. Finding a down dog. You might want to take a step back with the feet. Finding your downward facing dog. Well done. When you're ready, walking the hands all the way back to the feet. And just finding a nice forward fold here. So sending the weight into the front of the feet. I'm just going to turn to the opposite side. Take a hold of your strap so you're at the back of your mat. Feet are hip width distance apart, so measuring 2 fists in between your 2 feet. And just taking your strap and bringing it behind the body towards your lower back. And just extending it out and taking a hold of your strap with both hands. I'm just going to send the weight into the front of the feet there, and allowing a soft bend in the knee if you wish, if the hamstrings are tight, let the head hang. On an inhale, start to draw those hands up towards the sky as you draw the shoulder blades together. So starting to extend those arms up overhead, slowly moving into this stretch. So you'll feel it both in the hamstrings and in the shoulders. Just allowing the head to hang heavy. If your shoulders are very tight, don't worry if you're here and you feel a stretch, then that's perfect. Hold it there. If you are more flexible, release the strap, interlace the fingers, draw shoulders together as you start to bring arms up overhead. At the same time, bringing chest towards thighs. Feeling length through the torso here. And just letting the head hang. Breathing deeply into this beautiful stretch. Well done. On your next exhale, slowly starting to draw those hands back towards the lower back. And when you're there, releasing the strap or belt, whatever you have, leaving it to one side. Relaxing the hands out in front. From here, walking the hands back out into a plank pose. Draw the navel in. This time on the exhale, dropping knees down on the mat if you wish, or taking them off the mat if you want to invite a challenge today. Sending the shoulders over the wrists, hug the elbows in and slowly lower the body down, finding full chaturanga here. Inhale, find cobra or upward facing dog. Up dog, shoulders in line with wrists, and hips and thighs hover over the mat. Shoulders lead back, heart opens, gaze up. towards the sky. Exhale as you tuck the toes under, lift the hips up. Plug the heels, finding downward facing dog. Well done. Breathing here. On your next inhale, we're going to step that right foot in between our two hands. Keeping the back heel off the mat, both toes are facing the front. Finding our arrow pose here. So lunging deeply into that right knee. Knee is in line with the ankle here in that front leg. So coming onto the fingertips, chest is nice and strong here. We're not collapsing onto the thigh. Inhale as you reach the arms up. Finding a high lunge here, so palms are facing one another. On an exhale, we're going to send those arms forward and sweep them back as we find our arrow pose. So here, we're drawing the shoulder blades back. So we're not coming forward, really looping them back, as if somebody is pulling our hands towards the back of the mat. So reaching back and lunging forward with that knee and the hips. Keeping that chest open here, holding it for one more cycle of breath. Feeling that lovely long energy coming through the fingertips. Exhale as you release, framing that right foot. Step right foot back, lift the hips, exhale, find your downward facing dog. Well done. Breathing deeply. Sigh it out. Good job. Well done. On an inhale, coming up onto the tippy toes, let's step the left foot up in between your two hands. So keeping that back heel off the mat, coming up onto the fingertips. Lunging into that left knee. Inhale as you draw the arms forward, coming all the way up, finding your high lunge. So really spiraling those pinky fingers towards one another. Inhale, find length, tuck the tailbone in. On an exhale, lunging deep into that front knee as you send the arms forward and draw them back. So really rotate those shoulders outwards as you draw those fingers back. Keeping strong through the chest and front body as you open it up. Lunging forward as you reach back for 3. Well done. 2. And 1. Exhale as you release the hands. Stepping that left foot back and finding your downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale. Good job. On your next inhale, finding that stance once more. On your next inhale, we're going to come right up onto the tippy toes, stepping right foot in between your two hands and pivoting on that back foot once more. Coming all the way up, sweeping both arms out and finding warrior 2 here. So both arms are shoulder level and your gaze is over that right middle finger. Working that right knee all the way back. Finding that nice deep stretch. And maybe widening the stance if you feel that you can go deeper into this stretch, then please do. Keeping arms nice and strong. And from here, we're going to extend that front leg. If you have a prop, you can take a hold of it, keeping that stance with the feet, extending that front leg. You're going to place the block outside that right foot. So again, just outside the right ankle, either on the middle or high 7. Preparing for our Trikonasana pose. So we're opening the hips out to the side of the mat, reaching for that block with that right hand. Inhale as you reach up with the left. So feeling that lovely lengthening through the left fingertips, at the same time reaching down to the right. And pressing the energy into that left hip as you rotate it back. Beautiful stretch in the left side body here. Option again to bring the gaze to the side or all the way up overhead. Good job. Bending into that front knee, releasing that left hand. Placing that block in front of you. We're going to start to turn on the left toes and step that left foot up towards the right. And we're going to hook it around, bring it outside that right foot. So just pressing both feet into the floor here as you extend the right leg and have a bend in the left. So sending the weight into the front of the feet. Good job. From here, we're going to place that block over to the left-hand side. And we're going to walk our hands over to place on top of that block. So moving and twisting the torso over to the left. And just allow the head to drop here as you extend the right leg, feeling a lovely stretch on the outer side of that right leg and hip.
Option to walk it out a little bit further to feel a deeper stretch. Releasing the block, placing your hands in front, stepping that left foot back all the way towards the back of your mat. Stepping right foot back, find plank, and exhale, find your downward facing dog. Well done, everyone. Just breathing deeply here. I'm just going to turn over to the other side so I can face you in the pose. You stay where you are. So from down dog, on an inhale, we're going to come up onto the tippy toes, this time stepping the left foot in between the two hands. And from here, pivoting on that back foot, sweeping the arms inside and out, finding warrior two on the left. So working that knee out to the left-hand side, pressing into that outer edge of that back foot. Both arms are nice and strong. Tuck the tailbone in. Imagine as though you're in between two panes of glass here. Virabhadrasana, warrior two. Good job. Extending that front leg. Take a hold of your block and place it outside that left ankle, choosing your own setting, middle or high. So keeping that right hip back, sending the energy into that right hip. Reaching up with right arm, find your triangle pose, Trikonasana. Option to bring the gaze up towards that right hand. Really reaching up through the fingertips and sending the energy into that right hip. Good job. From here, bending into that front knee. And we're going to release that right hand, frame that left foot. Turn on the right toes as you pivot them around. And step that right foot up to meet the left. And we're going to hook that right foot outside the left. So extending left leg this time and have a bend in the right. Okay, so from here we're just going to bring that block over to the right hand side this time. So choosing your own setting, high, middle, or without a block if you don't need one. From here we're going to walk both hands over to the right, relaxing the head down as you press into, sending the energy back into that right hip. As you extend the left leg and feel that lovely stretch on the outside of that left leg and hip. Sending the energy and the weight into the front of the feet. Good job. Relaxing the hands here, remove the block to one side. Unhook the toes as you step that right foot back and step left foot back, find plank. Exhale as you find downward facing dog. Well done. From here, on an inhale, I'm just going to walk the feet up to meet the hands, nice and slowly. Feet are hip width distance apart, so measuring 2 fists in between your 2 feet. Take an inhale as you slide hands up onto shins, find your halfway lift. Exhale, fold, chest comes to thighs. Inhale, sweep the arms out, coming all the way up, upward salute, gazes at the palms. Exhale, hands draw to heart center, Tadasana. Take a nice deep cycle of breath here. Coming to the top of your mat when you're ready. Inhale as you sweep both arms out, coming all the way up. Exhale as you sweep them out and hinge forward from the hips as you fold. Chest comes to thighs. Finding our sun salutation series. Inhale as you slide hands up onto shins, find your halfway lift. Exhale, fold, pressing down on the mat. Step right foot back, step left foot back, find plank pose, draw that navel in. Exhale as you drop the knees down or keep them off the mat, your choice for Chaturanga. Slowly lowering down, eventually the whole body coming down. Inhale as you press on the palms, heel the chest up, find over or up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes under, press away from the earth and lift those hips up. Plug the heels. Finding downward facing dog. Breathing here, connecting with your breath. And that intention you set for yourself at the beginning of your practice today. When you're ready, inhale as you move the gaze in between your 2 hands. Walk the feet up to meet the hands. Feet are hip width distance. Inhale, lift halfway, slide hands up onto shins. Or alternatively, if you have more flexibility in the backs of the legs, you can bring the fingertips around shoulders. Create a nice long spine. Exhale, folds, chest comes to thighs. Inhale, sweep the arms out, coming all the way up for upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart center, Tadasana. Let's go for one more round. Inhale, sweep the arms out, coming all the way. Exhale, swan dive as we spread the wings, folding forward, chest to thighs, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, your version. Exhale, pressing down on the palms. Step or jump the feet back to find plank. From here, maybe inviting full chaturanga into your vinyasa. Exhale as you slowly lower the body down, hover over the mat. Inhale, find cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing nice and deeply here, well done. So with Surya Namaskara A, our Sun Salutation series, we always go for 3 rounds. So last and final round, when you're ready, inhale as you move the gaze forward. Walk or lightly jump the feet to meet the hands. Inhale as you lift halfway, your reversion. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, sweeping the arms out, coming all the way up, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart center. Connecting with your breath. Noticing the heart rate here. And when you're ready, moving into our final round. Inhale as you sweep the arms out, coming all the way. Exhale, swan dive as we spread the wings and fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, pressing down on the palms. Step or lightly jump the feet back to plank pose. And taking your own vinyasa, exhale as you chaturanga. Inhale for cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Well done, everyone. Breathing here nice and deeply. Exhale as you draw the heels back. Well done. Walking the feet up to meet the hands. Nice and gently. And allowing the head to hang heavy here. Inhale as you lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping your arms out, coming all the way up for upward salute. Gazes at the palms. And exhale, hands to heart center, Tadasana. Taking a moment here, connecting with your breath. And releasing the hands when you're ready. Coming to the side of your mat. We're going to take a nice wide stance and take a hold of your block, placing it in front of you. So making sure you have a nice wide stance. Toes are slightly turned in, heels out. So feet are slightly pigeon-toed, bringing the hands to the hips, creating nice length throughout the spine and the crown of the head. And on an exhale, we're going to hinge forward from the hips as we send the chest towards the floor, allowing the head to hang heavy here and relaxing the hands out in front. So if you are quite tight in the hamstrings, you can place the hands to rest them on your block, choosing your own setting, middle or high. Or if you are more flexible, you can bring the hands towards the mat as you start to draw the crown of the head to the floor. Option to introduce a bend to the knee here if you wish. And for those of you who are more advanced, you can start to walk the hands towards the back, behind the body, as you draw the head to the floor. Just feeling this lovely stretch here, breathing into it nice and deeply. Well done. Inhale as you slowly start to walk back towards center. Take a hold of your block, or for those of you that will wish, you can place the hands on the mat if they're already there and they can stay comfortably. Otherwise, resting the hands here, pressing into that left hand. Inhale as you draw right arm up, finding a twist here in your fold. Exhale, release, swapping over to the opposite side. Inhale as you draw the left arm up. Shoulders are stacked, so we're twisting the torso only, not the hips. Exhale. Moving into one more each side. Inhale. Lovely for the spine, these twists, creating a lovely sense of detox and great for digestion. Exhale, release. When you're ready, inhale as you come up onto the fingertips, either on the block or on the floor. Exhale as you draw hands to hips, and inhale as you slowly start to bring the whole body back up, one vertebrae at a time, turning those right toes out towards the front of your mat, finding warrior two once more. Exhale as you roll on the hands, bring that with right foot, turn on left toes, step right foot back, find plank. Option to just move into a down dog here, or take a vinyasa. Inhale, as you wave forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, find a cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing here. Good job. Inhale as you wave up onto the tippy toes, shifting the shoulders in front of the wrist. Exhale to drop the knees down onto the mat, untuck the toes, and slowly start to walk the hands back up towards the knees, moving your rock, facing it to one side, and slowly stacking the vertebrae up one at a time, crown of the head up last. Well done. So starting to slow things down here, we're going to bring both hands to the lower back here, finding a nice back bend in our camel pose. So feet are untucked and they're hip width distance apart, as are my knees. And we're just going to draw those elbows in, sending the hips forward as you start to arch the upper body back. So lifting up and back out of the rib cage. Option to keep the gaze forward as you send those hips forward. Or if you wish, you can start to bring the gaze up to the sky or dropping it all the way back. Just coming into this at your own pace. Breathing deeply here. Sending those hips forward, each inhale. Exhale, see if you can go that bit deeper. And slowly with control, using your hands to support you. Coming back up one vertebrae at a time. Taking a moment here, you may feel dizzy and sometimes even nauseous after that one. So don't worry, it will pass. Just give yourself a moment to find that balance. And when you're ready, coming to a seated position, we're going to start to send the legs out in front. So coming to the middle of your mat, extending both legs out, finding a nice seated forward fold to counterbalance that lovely back bend. And really coming into the front edge of the sit bones there, removing any flesh from the glutes. And when you're ready, taking an inhale here as you draw both arms up overhead. On an exhale, we're going to hinge forward from the hips as you fold. Option to place your strap around the soles of your feet if your hamstrings are particularly tight. Just place them like so and use the strap on the inhale, find length. Exhale to hinge deeper. And come deeper into that stretch. So feet are flexed, really engaging those hamstrings. If you don't need a strap, if you're more flexible, placing the hands around the ankles, soles of the feet, or even the shins if you wish. And just finding this lovely fold here as you inhale, find length. Exhale, fold. Breathing nice and deeply into this one. A lovely nourishing posture here. On your next inhale, sliding the hands back and stacking the vertebrae one at a time. Crown of the head up last. From here, pressing into the mat, scooching the bum down, coming onto the soles of the feet, and reaching both arms forward here. Find length as you exhale, peeling the body back down. So really tucking that tailbone in, drawing navel in towards the spine as you slowly melt the lower back, middle back, upper back, back down onto the floor. Walking the heels up towards the glutes. And when you're ready, extending both arms out either side. So bringing the hands in line with shoulders. And inhale as you start to lift the legs up. So finding a 90-degree angle with the legs. Legs are in a tabletop position here. Moving into our spinal twist. On an exhale, drawing knees over to the right. Stacking the hips, so left hip stacks on top of right. And when you're ready, moving the gaze over towards that left shoulder if that's comfortable. So what you want is just to make sure that that left shoulder stays planted into the earth. If you feel you're starting to get light in that shoulder, you know that that's your edge, stay there before it comes off the mat completely. Don't worry about getting the knees all the way to the floor. Just breathing nice and deeply into this one. Inhale as you draw knees back up towards center. And exhale as you bring them over to the other side. So knees drop to the left, gaze moves over to the right. And again, pressing into that right shoulder, making sure it stays firmly planted into the ground. If you're quite flexible, you can cross the legs over to feel a deeper stretch. Otherwise, just keeping both legs on tabletop, one stacked on top of the other. Releasing the legs if they're crossed. Inhale as you slowly start to draw the knees back up towards center. Finding that tabletop position once more. Let's bring the arms around the knees, wrapping them around. Draw the head up. And exhale as you release the head back. And just gently rocking the body from side to side here. Massaging out the lower back. Hugging the knees in towards the chest. Keeping the tailbone planted on the floor. Well done. From here, relax the left foot down. We're going to place the right ankle over left thigh and drop that knee out to the right hand side. Inhale as you lift that left foot off the mat. Interlace the fingers and wrap around left thigh. On your next exhale, flexing both feet, let's draw that left knee in towards the chest. Feeling a lovely stretch in the outer right hip flexor. Eye the needle pose. So keeping shoulders and hips planted on the floor. Exhale, release the hands, lower that left foot down and release the right foot. Swapping it over, left ankle over right knee, pressing that left knee out to the left hand side. Inhale as you lift that right foot off the mat. Both feet are flexed, interlace the fingers around that right thigh. And as you exhale, start to draw that knee towards the chest. And just using that left arm to work that knee out to the left hand side. Feeling a lovely stretch in the outer left hip. Well done. Exhale as you release the hands, slowly lowering that right foot down, release the left. And from here, sending the soles of the feet to the sky, bringing the legs out nice and wide, bending the knees. Threading the arms inside the legs, taking the shins, ankles, or the soles of the feet for your happy baby pose, your choice. And just really start to draw those knees in towards the shoulders. And again, massaging out the lower back if you wish to rock from side to side. Feeling a beautiful stretch in the inner thighs, the hips. Option to extend one leg as you bend the other and swap over. Just finding whatever adjustments or movements you need right now before we move into Shavasana. A lovely hip opener in this one. And when you're ready, slowly drawing both knees in together one last time, hugging them in towards the chest. As you exhale, release the arms and the legs, finding your Shavasana pose. So here, just bringing the feet out wider than the hips, allowing the arms to come into like a V shape, palms facing the sky. And just relaxing everything here into the earth, allowing the body to completely melt into the floor. Soften and relax all the muscles from your big toes all the way up to the crown of the head. Relaxing the muscles in the face, particularly the lower jaw. And again, just coming back to the breath. Allow yourself to observe the inflow and outflow of the breath. In this moment, going within, where we experience that connection with the higher self, where we find that lovely sense of peace and stillness. Coming back to the true essence of who we really are. If you have the time to stay here, please do so. I recommend 10 to 15 minutes in Shavasana, one of the most beneficial poses in yoga. A lovely way to seal your practice and allow the body to reap the benefits of all the poses you've worked through today. If you don't have the time, you can join me as you invite some movement into the fingers and the toes. Taking a gentle stretch overhead if that feels good for you. And with eyes closed, bending the knees and coming over onto your right side into the fetal position, nice and gently. On an exhale, pressing against that palm as you slowly bring yourself up to a seated cross-legged position into the middle of your mat. Keeping eyes closed here, allowing the hands to come together in prayer. Thumbs to chest, and just allowing the head to come over heart, heart over pelvis. Taking a moment here to let everything settle. Bowing chin to chest, showing gratitude to yourself for showing up on the mat today. And gratitude and love to your bodies for taking you through this physical practice. Thank you all so much for joining me today in this flow. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you feel the benefits of the body stretches. Have a wonderful day and week ahead. Namaste.